Hi there and welcome back to another video. So it's been a while since we've done any shells or shell mold projects using resin or hydroflow. So we thought we'd use these molds. These are ones you haven't seen before. I think they're gorgeous. They're bigger than the other shell molds that we've got. We've got the mini versions of these. So what we're going to do, we're going to dust each one of them. There are 6 here, yes. So we're going to dust each one of them with some of the metallic powders from Let's Resin. Love these metallic powders and the effect they give. Very different from a mica powder. But of course you could use the mica powder if you wish to. Also going to use the Vista 1:1 mixing ratio for epoxy resin. So as you can see here, this has been sped up. I'm busy coating each of the each of the molds with the metallic powder, just using a regular paintbrush. You could use a makeup brush, and then just applying it all in, making sure that all of the inside of the mold is thoroughly coated, because there's a lot of detail in these molds. I'm just going to show you each of them up close. As you can see, lots and lots of little squares inside that one. This one's beautiful. I wish I could remember the proper name for the types of shells that these are formed using these molds, but unfortunately I can't. Yet, so not sure at this present time how these are going to turn out, but we'll have to wait and see. We are going to use them to decorate our bathroom mirror frame, along with the other clam shells or the pearl shells and the miniature shells that we have made in the past. So here we go, just off camera mixing up some resin. There we are, and I've added the Vista pigment in black to this because I thought it would be the best thing to use. I mean, obviously you don't have to use it, but I thought it would be best. You can of course use clear resin and add some of the metallic silver powder if you want to. So just pouring it in very carefully into each of the molds, making sure it's quite runny at the present. So I've got no worries at this point in time about whether or not it's going to pick up all the detail. So yeah, just gradually filling up each one of the 6 molds that we have. There we go, and then just the middle of the round one. I think that's probably my favourite one. Just hoping at this point that it turns out all okay and that the resin clears nicely. Can you see the effect the metallic powder is having on that resin in the top one in the middle? Almost like the iris of an eye. I believe that's in Lord of the Rings, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment if that's not the case, and I will stand corrected, of course. There we go. So just making sure each one is filled up as much as it needs to be. There we go. Getting every last little bit of resin out. Remembering to scrape it off of the stir stick there as well. So it actually looks like we've got a bit too much resin in some of these and not enough in the others. Oh. So there we go. I've decided there's too much in that bottom middle one, so I'm just going to add it back into the top and realise that yes, we've got a bit of overspill going on that top one in the middle. So decided to take the plunge, stick the stir stick in and take some of it out. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this particular mould actually, because it's almost like it's not level, but it is on a level surface, so maybe it's something to do with the way the mould has been made. So I've decided to prop it up with a lollipop stick. There we go. And just taking a little bit out of this end one here as well, adding it into the one on the far left at the top. Now that the metallic powder, as I said, is mixing a tiny bit with the black resin, that's okay. Just be careful that you don't go right down to the bottom of the mould and scoop it up, because you don't want to scoop up metallic powder and then find that you've got lots of black resin showing. Obviously, if you've used resin coloured it with the silver metallic powder, there's no issue there. That's not going to be a problem for you. So just pulling the moulds open slightly and squidging them back together, because as I said, there's quite a bit of detail in these moulds. There we go. And with that one there in the middle at the bottom, not going to bother with the top one, obviously, because I think that would just be asking for trouble. That one, just pull it open and then just let it go back, because that's the way that the bubbles are going to disappear. So that top one again, not quite level, so just sticking a stir stick underneath it so it can cure. And then we're going to leave these for at least 12 hours, minimum of 12 hours to cure up nice, and then we'll be showing you the demold. Not forgetting, of course, to cover it with one of the pop-up food covers that we have. We use those to cover anything that we make out of resin. It's just to stop any bits and pieces from falling into the resin or flies getting into it, bugs or anything like that, really, hair, and so on, until it's completely cured and you can go through to the demold process. There we are. So quite happy with all of those. So here we are, you can see the food cover that I was talking about previously. I'm going to remove that and demold them. And there we are, here's the finished pieces, beautiful looking shells. All quite happy with all of these, although some of them you can see a little bit of the black resin. We're going to go in with a pen and just touch those up. Thanks again for tuning in and watching the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and why not leave us a comment while you're at it. Videos uploaded twice a week. Thanks again. Bye.